All right, hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Muggle with a Mic.
Muggle with a
Katie
mic.
here. Yeah, and there's Jonah. Jonah's back with me. Hey, Jonah.
What's up?
Well, what's up is we watched a lot of movies.
I have?
We did
Oh,
combined.
I thought okay, I couldn't hear you. Yeah. No.
I turned up my mic.
I know, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. No, we watched a lot of movies about a particular actor. If you're watching the YouTube video, you can see him down at the bottom, looking
Yes.
very sly.
It is
And
Gary
suave.
Busey.
It's not.
We watched every Larry the Cable Guy movie ever.
No. I would not do an episode on that, would you?
Even Cars 4. We got access.
I would
early.
watch Togehter. Yeah, I would. No, we did all movies on Jake Gyllenhaal, which we discussed on a previous episode, that we both are huge fans of the actor Jake Gyllenhaal.
Correct.
Yeah.
Huge.
So
fan.
before we get into these movies, Jonah, can we show off our mugs?
Would love to show off some mugs. You want to go first or you want me to go first?
Why don't you go first? I always let the
I'll go
guests go
first.
first. I'm going to pour some water
So-
in mine.
Our visual listeners may have noticed last episode that I was kind of in a different place. I had like a white background. It's because my room was kind of under construction by me because I was doing like a deep clean at the time and like was moving a lot of stuff. And so it was not fit to film in. During that deep clean, I happened to actually, I know it's a surprise, be proud, that I actually did find a mug of mine that I remembered I had
Hold on
from
to your seats, ladies.
years
and
ago.
gentlemen.
years ago. Now, it is not movie nor TV nor video game related in any way.
That's okay. Mine isn't either, if that
It
helps
is a
you.
mug. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But it is media related,
Okay.
I guess you could say. It is an original. I know I'm just saying words at this point. A Good Mythical Morning mug.
Hey, I like them.
Yeah.
That's
love them.
Rhett and Link, right?
Red Link.
There's
Let's
nothing in
talk
the
about
mug.
it. Let's talk about that. Yeah,
Wait, Jonah,
have a Good Mythical
we're gonna do a little acting like practice here.
Okay.
I would like you to take a drink and make us really feel like there's something in the mug. And action.
Oh, it's hot. Hot coffee. Oh.
And cut. Okay, now this time, I want
should
you
expect that.
to drink as if you're on the phone. You just found out surprising news right as you're taking a sip. And action.
Yes. Yes. She's what? Hang on, let me take a sip. Pregnant? Thank you. Grazie.
And the Oscar goes to
Me. You know it.
Jonah for his role in drinking from a mug.
Yeah, you gotta take a sip before you hear the news. When you know it's gonna be shocking, you gotta take a sip.
Well, I approve of that mug, and I appreciate you having a mug this time.
I know, right? It's a pretty cool mug, huh?
Great job. Yeah, it is. It's very
Bet
mythical.
you didn't expect that.
All right, so here's my mug. So, Christmas season, I got this from my sister, got it for me. Of course, my whole family knows now I need mugs. I mean, you see them all back here.
Exactly.
So, this will be added to the collection. My nickname is Cat. My favorite candy bar is a Kit Kat. So,
Oh. Hey.
there you go. And in one of our films that we'll be discussing today, one of the characters' names is Cat. Shocking.
Which movie was that? I don't remember a character named Cat.
It's okay. It was a subtle character. It was the captain in Life in the astronaut movie.
Oh.
See, you aren't named Cat, so it
That's
didn't
right. So
stand
it
out
did
to you.
click. Trust me, when there's a character named Jonah, I notice.
Yep. Okay,
see-
so guys, we're back because we had a little audio.
Technical difficulties.
That happens every time. It
What
wouldn't
what
be a
would
muggle with
what
a
would
mic
be a muggle with a mic session? Just- without some
It's so
tech-
true. Because you know what, guys? I don't know what I'm doing.
I would.
I'm just figuring it out along the way.
Would you rather everything go right? Like, come on. Like,
Boring.
if that happens, what's interesting?
It's boring. Yeah.
Exactly.
Life would be dull if things went perfectly. Yep. Okay, so we were talking about Jonah names, but let's go ahead and get into you've got some movie news real quick that we can do.
I does have just a couple things, general movie news, some stuff that happened in the last few weeks that are interesting that you might want to keep a lookout for. For one, something I did not have on my bingo card. I did not think that Tom Cruise, I don't know if you heard about this, his production company, Cruise Wagner, they officially moved to Warner Brothers. Officially, now they have a office in the Warner Bros., which is so weird because Cruise notoriously works with Paramount in things like Top Gun and Mission Impossible, and he still has Mission Impossible coming out, as well as my next piece of news. But it's just now his production company, they're going to be moving forward and making projects together with Warner Bros., which is very interesting, especially since Warner Brothers has recently been, not doing so good.
Most of the there's too many darn streaming services that nobody's doing exceptionally well. Just because there's
Netflix is
the market.
Netflix is winning without a doubt.
Okay, I did get Netflix back for $6.99 with ads, and the ads aren't. There's not a ton.
Okay.
So I think that's a pretty good compromise. I'm not paying $24.99 a month for them.
Netflix is winning because other streaming properties are now selling their original content over to Netflix. Netflix is without a doubt winning, which is not something I thought was going to happen.
I hadn't been on for like a minimum of 6 months, and I got back on, and they've got Super Mario Brothers. They got tons of stuff that
they bought every DC movie from the recent years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they are winning without a doubt. And Hulu and Disney Plus are now merging. And that's really interesting because, clearly they can't both, I guess, run each other which is kind of sad that they're going to dissolve Hulu into Disney Plus eventually, because Hulu is one of the better streaming services.
I have it, and
without a doubt.
That's where I watch Superstore.
Nice.
Yep. And Outlander, because I have a 99-cent Stars subscription.
Nice.
Yeah. What else? I'm not a Tom Cruise fan. Moving on. What's next?
Yeah, just like in general.
Yeah, in general.
Okay. Top Gun 3 is currently being written, which is something I did not think would happen. Well, it's just interesting because, I guess the second one did so well, they're going to write one, which would make sense, but the way they talked about it made it seem like they were never going to do this. 28 years later is now being developed.
Because of Killian.
I believe Danny Boyle is attached. I don't know, though. He's the one who made the first one.
Mm-hmm.
I think he made the second one. Stephen Yeun, not only did he win quite a few awards, but he also left the Thunderbolts. He was rumored and heavily confirmed to be the bad guy Sentry in the Thunderbolts, and he just recently exited and made a statement about it. So
I think I saw that, yeah.
But stating that he also still wants to be in a Marvel movie. It was scheduling conflicts.
Oh, well, that stinks.
Yeah, I know, right?
It kind of wasn't his choice. It was just Time's choice.
Yeah. Maybe he just didn't. I mean, who knows? I'm sure there's more than what we know. There always is. But I don't know. I was excited mainly because, you know me, I'm a huge Stephen Yeun guy.
You have his signature.
I have his signature. I love Stephen Yeun. So yeah. And then last thing I put here, which is interesting to me, is Ryan Coogler is currently working on an X-Files reboot.
Like a series or a movie?
Do not know.
Oh.
I would assume like a limited series or an anthology series. I don't know if they'll go for just a straight up season to season, because I don't think Ryan Coogler would do that. But maybe I'm wrong. But yeah,
so I watched The Fall, which stars the female from the X-Files.
Gillian Anderson.
Yeah, I can never remember if it's Jillian or Gillian.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong, but
no, I wouldn't know if you were.
I could be.
Well, it has Jamie Dornan in it, and
I love Jamie Dornan.
It's a pretty good series. I had trouble getting through the first season, but the rest was pretty good. Yeah,
that's cool.
Anything else?
Also, side note: did you see Paul Walter winning an Emmy last night and eating, was it last night? Last night and eating chicken wings whenever he won. It was sick.
I have no idea what any of that meant.
Paul Walter is an actor, great actor.
Wait, I probably know him. I'm terrible with names.
He's great. He got nominated for Best Supporting Actor in a Limited Series or Anthology Series, and he won and was eating chicken wings. So.
He's from
Cobra Kai. Or Richard Jewell or Black Klansman, or he's been in surprisingly a lot of stuff, and he's always amazing in them. So I think it was really a deserving win.
Interesting. Yeah, that's neat.
It was good. I have not seen Blackbird, but I've heard good things.
Cool, Leo. Does that end movie news?
That's all I have.
Cool beans. Here's my movie news. People won awards. The end.
True.
I will say,
Oppenheimer won most of them.
I heard Emma Stone's acceptance speech for Poor Things at the Critics' Choice.
It's Critics' Choice.
And it was really good because she basically said, thank you so much, for all the critics, but I'm really trying to learn how to not care what you think.
I remember that. That was good.
Which is awesome. She said it in a room where the critics just gave her an award.
Look,
I think it's awesome.
She's great. Poor Things was really good. I didn't love it as much as other people. I really enjoyed it quite thoroughly. I thought I was overall very positive about it.
Yeah.
Lily Gladstone, hands down, deserves that award. Sorry,
that's why Emma was shocked because she did not think she was going to win.
This is Lily Gladstone's moment, and I really hope that the Oscars go that way. But I'm getting really nervous. But I really think Lily Gladstone, she was incredible. I mean,
no, absolutely. I think if she won the Golden Globe, Critics' Choice is different than the Golden Globe. No, I know. So I'm saying I'm favoring her for the Oscar.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they both won the Golden Globe.
Did you hear her story about Harrison Ford?
Whose?
Lily's.
No.
She was sitting near Harrison, and she basically told him, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
Return of the Jedi is the reason she started acting because she wanted to be an Ewok.
Oh, I've heard that. I've heard her say.
And her parents told her, "Well, those aren't real. They're actors playing a character." And she was like, "Well, then I want to be an actor because I can't be an Ewok."
Yeah, I've heard that.
She's awesome.
She told Harrison Ford that. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. And then she said he was so kind and nice to her throughout the whole evening. At one point, she said she needed to use the restroom, and Harrison went all around, went up to a cameraman to say, "We need to help her. Everyone make way, help out Lily," or something. He was being very.
I really want Lily to win the Oscar. I really think her performance again. I need to rewatch that movie. I'm planning on it. I've been wanting to rewatch it, but I'm trying to get my friend here to watch it with me because he really wants to watch it. He's just a little busy.
Oh, because you need a year and a half to watch it.
Yeah, that's why. So yeah, it is just she is fantastic. She really deserves that award. I would be very sad. Did you happen to watch? I mean, this has been done to death by the time we're recording this, but I assume you watched at least some of Joe Coy's horrendous opening monologue not monologue. I guess it's a monologue. What's it called? Whenever you go up there and his opening monologue for the Golden Globes. I heard
it was terrible. I haven't seen it though.
And he's a fairly good comedian. The stuff I've seen of him over the years is good, but him just blaming the bad jokes on his writers just was so rude.
Some I wrote, some other people wrote. Robert De Niro's here. Yo, I got the gig 10 days ago. You want a perfect monologue? Yo, shut up. You're kidding me, right?
He's so
slow down. I wrote some of these, and they're the ones you're laughing at.
So gross.
That was pretty bad. What did he say about Taylor?
So if I remember correctly, he said the difference between the Golden Globes and a Chiefs game is we have less shots of Taylor Swift.
And look at this. Look at this room. Look around. I mean, look around. Look, Kevin Costner's here. Kevin Costner's never here. Kevin's like in a mountain with a cow or something, but today he's here. Don Cheadle's here. I'm just looking around. Just everybody's here. Like, this is a good night. And I got the best seat in the house. When I was a kid growing up, I used to watch this show, and I would stay up late with my family, just trying to guess who would win. And every time my mom would say, it's Meryl, especially the first season. That's so stupid. Oppenheimer.
Oh, wait, did he insult like
in 2025? Like, seriously, I'm almost there.
I don't know.
I love Oppenheimer, especially the first season.
He's insulting how long.
That's so stupid.
Which Killers was longer, so I don't know why. Although I will say Oppenheimer does feel like an eternity.
All right, let's just get into Jake talk. Okay,
Woo-hoo!
Jonah, why do we like Jake?
I've always liked Jake Gyllenhaal since I was a wee lad. No, I've always liked Jake Gyllenhaal. And then there was a certain movie that I watched many a year ago. I don't know, just a couple years ago, maybe 4 or 5. I watched Nightcrawler, and it absolutely blew me away just how good he is. And I've been obsessed with his career ever since. So I just love him as an actor. I think he's just really good, and he really steals the scenes that he's in. It steals the screen, really does. And he commands every role he does. I love him as an actor. He's great.
When I was a wee lass,
you saw Bubble Boy, and you said, "This is the guy."
No, even before Bubble Boy, I truly, without a doubt, knew he was great from October Sky.
It's a great movie.
And he's only what is he? He's 7 years older than me. So when that came out, I'm not his age, but I was around his age as he went, and then he went and he did Donnie Darko, which I'd never seen up until this past week.
Oh, okay.
And I watched it, and had I known it involved time travel, I would have watched it eons earlier than I have.
Oh, did you really like it?
Oh, it's very thought-provoking. Did not think it from the title and the poster, it looked like a movie I wouldn't like. Anybody who's hesitant to watch Donnie Darko, watch it. It's not the kind of movie that you think. You think it's a horror, weirdo, psycho movie. Like, this kid's disturbed. The kid has issues, yes, but he's a good person.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, so I've been a fan of Jake's ever since October Sky, Homer Hickam. And I loved him in there. So then every subsequent movie he's been in, I've taken notice of. And when he did Day After Tomorrow, I was swooning over him in Day After Tomorrow. I wanted to be Emmy Rossum.
And I was swooning over Dennis Quaid. He really did it for me.
Well, he does for some people. Hey, good, to each their own, right?
Yes.
But no, I just, and every movie he's done is interesting. And he's not afraid to do movies that aren't going to be blockbuster hits, but are still great movies.
True.
So, and then on the flip side of that, Jonah, we could try to do video stuff, but I've already proven I don't know how to use my computer.
True.
But here are, I'm going to try to play 2 videos that are examples of why I think he's awesome.
Okay.
As an actor.
Can't wait to see.
So let me try to bring this up. This first video is of him singing in a promo video for Sunday in the Park with George.
Oh, for the musical?
For the Broadway performance of it. And it's a Stephen Sondheim musical for those that don't know. And I'm just going to try to bring this up. And I just want we'll watch a little snippet of it.
Would love to.
Also, the very beginning of it, he says, "I'm always mesmerized by the strings." And I just think, he knows good instruments when he hears them. Okay.
He took you there. He took me.
But to see, it's the only way to see. And when the woman that you wanted goes, you can say to yourself, well, I give what I give. But the woman who won't wait for you knows that how wherever you live, there's a part of you always standing by, mapping out a sky, finishing a hat,
So there you go. You get the gist of
starting
what
on
he's
the
doing there.
Great. Great.
Okay, then
He was great.
he goes and he does something like, so you've got this great Broadway singing performance, acting skills and everything. I'm sorry, I'm laughing already.
You're good.
Then we have
Oh,
It's grown old and rusty, but beneath the rising sun, it's locked up like a trophy, forgetting all the things it's done. And though it's been a long time, you're right back where you started from. I see it in your eyes, and now you're giving up the gun.
I think he doesn't take himself too seriously because he does stuff like that.
Good.
So he goes from
Nothing
Stephen
wrong with that.
Sondheim to Vampire Weekend.
fair. Was that Vampire Weekend?
Yep.
Hmm.
Giving up the gun.
Nice.
Anyway, so that sums up why I like him.
Sums it up nice.
And so I've got a couple of fun facts about Jake.
Great.
He was born Jacob Benjamin Gyllenhaal on December 19th, 1980.
Nice.
He was born into the Gyllenhaal family. He's the son of director Stephen Gyllenhaal and screenwriter Naomi Foner. I hope I'm saying it.
So he's a Nepo baby.
Mm-hmm. But and his older sister is Maggie Gyllenhaal.
I mean,
No.
I knew that.
He began acting as a child, making his acting debut in City Slickers, followed by roles in, other,
Correct.
Homer Hickam in October Sky.
Check us.
You know he's Swedish royalty. Did you not
Good
know
for
that?
him. No.
Yeah, his
Good for him.
the Gyllenhaal family is a big Swedish name. Fancy.
Good for him.
He graduated from Harvard Westlake School in Los Angeles in '98, then attended
Goodness.
Columbia University, where his sister was a senior and from which his mother had graduated. He studied Eastern religions and philosophy.
Oh. Shoot.
He dropped out after 2 years to concentrate on acting.
Homie dipped. he said, you know what? October Sky's gonna take
I know
off.
what I'm doing. I'll learn a little bit about philosophy and take it with me and use it in my acting career. Education is wonderful. I got an education. I did my career.
I got an education.
But when it comes to actors and stuff, a lot of them don't go to school. I mean,
True.
their schooling is their job in a way.
True.
Yeah. Oh, Gyllenhaal's sister Maggie is married to actor Peter Skarsgård. Which was
Wait,
also
His
Peter Skarsgård.
Who's
is
married
his
to Peter
brother-in-law.
Skarsgård? Is
Maggie.
Oh, Maggie's married to Peter. I didn't know Maggie was married to Peter Skarsgård.
Fun facts. Which
Good
he
for
also
her.
starred with Jake in Jarhead and Rendition.
That is correct.
Mm-hmm. This is a fun story. Not really fun, but interesting.
Love fun stories.
In December 2006, Gyllenhaal and his sister escaped a fire that destroyed Manca's Inverness Lodge, a famed lodge and restaurant in Inverness, California, at which they were vacationing. The two were among a dozen or so guests who fled after the fire, sparked by a falling tree. They broke out at about 3 a.m. Yeah. Co-owner and celebrity chef Daniel DeLong said the pair were supportive despite having to brave the wind and cold. Jake was helping me pull things out of the fire.
Oh. And he was what? Like how old was he then? Like 20?
That was 2006. So I had just graduated high school. If he's 7 years older than me, he was like 26 or something like that.
Okay. Well, great.
Yeah. 20,
He
26.
helps the people out. He's like, don't worry, ma'am. I was in October Sky. Like, don't worry.
No, I was in the day after tomorrow.
I was in the day. I know disasters.
I know disasters.
Like, I know how this goes.
He has celebrity godparents. Do you know who his godfather is?
I'm gonna go the crazy celebrity I can think of. Francis Ford Coppola.
No, I'll give you a clue. Salad dressing.
Robert De Niro. I don't know.
Paul Newman.
Oh, is it really?
Uh-huh. You gotta know who his godmother is. You gotta know hot dog finger.
It's not Jamie Lee Curtis, is it?
Yup.
Is it really?
Yep. I knew that even before me doing research.
Great.
Isn't that cool? He is also the godfather of Heath Ledger's daughter.
Oh, that made me sad all of a sudden. Because I love Brokeback Mountain so much. It's one of my faves.
I mean, look.
Oh, is that what it said?
I wish I knew.
Oh, that's such a great line, by the way. I wish I knew how to quit you. I unironically,
when you love someone, you can't stop it.
Adore Brokeback Mountain. I think that movie is phenomenal and deserved the win.
Jake's jean jacket furry coat thing.
Same. I want to get snuggled up with him in it, but I don't. Well, I guess in that movie I would be his type.
Yes, and I wouldn't.
Yeah,
I'd just be the Anne Hathaway.
Lucky me. Hey, it's not confirmed, but she definitely killed him. Spoilers.
Really?
I think so. The way she was talking on the phone to, no, he's Oliver Twist. So who's the other guy? I don't know. But the way she was talking on the phone to Heath Ledger's character, and he kind of visualized it, made it seem like she knew and maybe had something to do with it. That's how I watched the movie. That's how I've seen the movie like 4 times, maybe. That's how whenever I watch that scene, that's what I pick up on. It could be wrong, but that's how I feel. But movies are always up to interpretation.
Yeah. Well, and that's the great thing about them is if you think something was portrayed right, you're not wrong. The director might have intended it some other way, but that's how you interpreted it.
Yeah, how you watch it is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Love and Other Drugs is Anne and Jake, and that's one of my a favorite movie of mine.
Comfort film for you?
Yeah.
I've seen it one time. I watched it last year for the first time.
One of the best scenes. Like everyone, like I said, Oscar-worthy performance, I feel. When he has a panic attack.
Mm-hmm.
I felt the panic attack with him.
Okay.
And then Anne Hathaway's character has to calm him down, because he's telling her that he loves her, and he's never told anyone that ever.
Right.
He has a full-fledged panic attack, and my chest tightened whenever he was acting there. So,
is that the movie where he's like the pharmaceutical seller and he? Okay, just want to make sure because I was relating those two scenes. I was like, that is the scene where he goes to doctor. But yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and she has Parkinson's.
Right.
All right, guys, we are going to finish up our Jake Fun Facts section.
Fun facts.
And we're going to start talking about the 5 movies that we watched specifically for Jake. We decided to watch 5 because Jonah picked 2 that I'd never seen. I picked 2 that Jonah had never seen. What is happening? On the video.
What happened?
Even your camera's excited. We're talking about Jake. Okay, podcast listeners. So,
did I just find a secret code?
Mine doesn't do that, does it?
Holy crap! You put up a peace sign, I get balloons. If you put up 2,
you get confetti. Okay, everyone, we're freaking out because Jonah has just unlocked some Harry Potter skill on his phone.
What just happened?
He does a peace sign, and there's balloons and confetti.
Watch this.
Nope. You got to go forward. You broke
Did
the
I break it?
matrix. There it goes. That's
What is
so
happening?
weird.
Okay, anyways, I will use that as time comes.
Please do. Please do. And no podcast listeners that we may get distracted by visuals that you can't see.
I apologize in advance.
No, that was amazing. I'm glad we got it
That
on
was,
recording.
that was crazy.
Oh my gosh, I haven't been recording. I'm joking. It's recording.
I was about to be like, okay, bye. I'd be like,
We
we're
are
not-
done.
No.
We're done. I'm never coming back on. No, okay. Anyway, so then we picked a fifth film of Jake's that we both have not seen.
Correct.
I'm wondering, what if you do I Love You? What if you do I Love You? Hearts. There's got to be hearts. Nothing.
I don't see it.
Okay.
It apparently, Video Ninja does not respect ASL. So
I think it's your phone. I don't think it's
I-
Video
I-
Ninja.
I don't think my regular camera would just do this out of nowhere.
If it was Video Ninja, then it would work for me.
Maybe it's, I don't know, man. Maybe my picture's just cooler.
I
Maybe
am not a crook.
okay.
Do you know what that is?
Yes, it's Richard Nixon. I'm not crazy. No, it wasn't in a movie. I have no clue.
Okay, it was in a movie. It was in, I think it's your iPhone. It was in what was the movie where they interview him?
I'm sure there was a Nixon. Oh, I know.
Frost
talking-
Nixon.
Yeah, I
That
know what you're talking about.
There you go, movie. Okay, so finally our we did one movie where we both had not seen it. So
Yes.
Jonah, we're gonna do the one that you picked first, and go ahead and tell us about it.
You can grab it. Yes. I picked the 2017? Yes, 2017 film Okja, which is a Bong Joon-ho directed film that has, an aspect of fantasy as well as current political crises, as well as Jake Gyllenhaal in it as well. He plays like a funny, doesn't he play like a
A zoologist.
yeah, he's really smart, but he's stupid. He's a jerk, right?
Well, I think he's I actually don't think he's that smart. I think that he's social media appearance smart. So he knows how to attract an audience. But as for caring for the animals, he could care less. Yeah.
Hey guys, he's like a YouTuber.
Yeah. He's a YouTuber who's not doing that great.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the film I picked. One of the two films that I picked because you had not seen it, and it's a very good movie.
I had always seen it on Netflix, and I never clicked on it. And I'm glad I did. It was a good movie.
Oh, it's so good.
So why do you like it?
I just think Bong Joon-ho is an amazing director, and he really knows how to tell a story. He's just such a magnificent director. And I remember watching the movie for the first time, being blown away about I really thought it was going to be one thing. I thought it was going to be this kind of fantasy girl stumbles upon, a mythical creature, and that was her hiding it. But it became so much more than that. It became a little bit of a heist movie with it intertwined so many genres while also saying so much. And Bong Joon-ho's direction through the whole thing. I mean, he's one of the best directors working, and he really hones the story in, and it's very entertaining throughout. I love it.
Yeah, it had I love when movies have chapters. You can clearly tell the chapters and what's happening here. First chapter, we're meeting Okja and we're meeting the little girl, and we're learning their relationship.
Correct.
And then you learn about Jake's character and that they're going to take the pig away. And then you learn about it. I just love the timestamps throughout the movie. I also Stephen Young is in it.
Stephen Young and Paul Dano, who are two of my favorite actors as well. So
Which I love.
Not a
seeing
studded
Paul,
cast.
I love seeing Paul Dano in a non-crazy person role.
Hey,
Which
he's got plenty of those.
No, I know, but he started out, what's the oil movie?
There Will Be Blood.
Yes, he started out in that, and there have been other films where he's just playing cuckoo for Cocoa Puff characters.
The Riddler and Prisoners and
yes. So
yeah.
I loved
Looper.
him in I'm blanking on names, but the Steven Spielberg movie about him.
Fabelmans.
I love him in that, and I loved him in this.
And Little Miss Sunshine.
Little Miss Sunshine, yes. So he's versatile just like Jake.
Ruby Spark.
And then we have what's that?
I just love Paul Dano. He's like probably my second favorite actor, to be honest with you.
Yeah, no, he is great. And then we have who's the blonde lady?
Tilda Swinton?
Yeah, there you go. She didn't give the little kids little candies, Russian candies. I'm blanking on names tonight.
Is that a reference I don't get?
Cupboard. Narnia.
Oh, she was in Narnia, wasn't she? Oh, shoot. The Narnicles of Crania. Yeah, she is in that.
Yeah, that one. The Chronic Chronicles of Narnia. It's the Chronic Chronicles of Narnia.
Yeah.
Anyway, I really did love it. Now, I want to ask you a question, though, before we move on to the next movie.
Yeah.
Because we will have to move through these movies fairly quickly.
There are 5 of them.
Yes. There's one scene that confuses me.
Okay, I'll try to remember it because I watched this movie a long time ago.
I will explain it to you. I mean, you'll get it. It's when they're taking little samples of the pig.
Okay.
You remember when they get Okja and they bring her back? Excuse me. They bring her back, not under the girl's permission, and he has her in that dirty lab caged area, and he takes actual biopsies of her, basically.
Oh.
Remember that? Okay.
I remember generally.
Terrible and disgusting that they did that.
Correct.
Here's my thing. When he's doing that,
You're justified?
he's using a device.
Okay.
He's using an iPad.
Okay.
Would you consider Jake's character in this a good guy or a bad guy?
Well, he's a bad guy, right? He does not care for the animal.
Correct. I thought he was going to flip it, turn upside down.
Okay.
Because apparently Apple has a contract with the movie industry that no villains or bad characters can use Apple products.
Interesting. I didn't know. I'd never heard of that before.
Yeah.
Maybe that happened post 2017.
No, I think it's... While Apple doesn't pay for its devices to appear on TV and in movies, the company clearly wants them to. However, the free devices come with a couple of requests from Apple. First and foremost, Apple does not want bad guys to use iPhones. Director Rian Johnson revealed this when talking about the movie Knives Out. He talked about how you can sometimes use that information to figure out if a character is a villain or not. Apple, they let you use iPhones in movies, and this is very pivotal. If you're ever watching a mystery movie, bad guys cannot have iPhones on camera. iPhone, iPad, I don't know if that makes a difference, but
interesting.
But it's official guidelines saying Apple products should be shown only in the best light. That's in quotes. Only in the best light. And in that scene in Okja, it's not being used for the best thing.
Interesting. Okay, that's something I never would have caught that in 80 million years. But good for you, you nerd. No.
Do you not understand how proud I am that you said that?
Yeah, for real.
Okay, so get it? Okay, J-A?
Okja.
Okja.
It's Okja.
I think that everyone should watch Okja. If you've been hesitant to watch it. Mm-hmm. It's only on Netflix.
Well, I have a copy of it.
That's true. This is the reason why I got Netflix back. It's your fault, Jonah.
Oh, this is you to watch this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Had no idea
bought it on the Criterion Collection. I will say, Criterion Collection, they're great at 4Ks. This is one of the better 4Ks I've seen.
You're gonna have to explain what Criterion Collection is.
You don't know what the Criterion Collection is?
No, should I?
Let me let
Maybe
them
I'm
explain.
not that
to you.
much of a nerd. I only retain useless information.
So the Criterion Collection is dedicated to gathering the greatest films from around the world and publishing them in editions of the highest technical quality with supplemental features that enhance the appreciation of the art of film. So the Criterion Collection, they just pick movies from everywhere, all around the world, to showcase them. They do special editions of them. They announce titles every month for 3 months after that to be released. They do the best 4K Blu-rays on the market. They do the best Blu-rays on the market. They go deep with their special features. I have a Criterion Collection. I have almost 4 full shelves of Criterion movies. Some of them are recent movies that I love. Some of them are movies I am waiting to watch, or some of them are movies that I have seen that are quite old. But yeah, they're really good. And
Nice.
Okja was put in the Criterion Collection 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago.
Interesting. So it's basically, if it's in the Criterion Collection, it's a good movie.
That's essentially the point. Yes, but of course,
It's
film
worth
is subjective.
watching.
But yeah,
All right. Let's go on to our next movie.
yes.
Are we
you
ready?
pick-
So this is my movie.
Yes,
I picked it for you to watch because you've never seen it.
I had
and it's
never seen it.
called Life.
it is called Life.
Life freaks me out.
Cool.
Life, like, you know how I said I had chest pains when Jake had the panic attack? I had a panic attack during this movie.
Fair.
It honestly, I have only watched it twice. I watched it when I initially watched it, and then I rewatched it for this, and I remembered why I did not rewatch it because it freaks me out. It's worth watching. It's
Is it-
totally worth watching. Basically, astronauts in the space station, they discover a life cell, just like a single cell organism, on Mars. They bring it on there to bring life from Mars, but they're keeping it in there. And let's just say things don't go well. The thing grows, the thing kills, and things happen, and people
Bad stuff.
die. Yeah. So, I mean, it's got Ryan Reynolds in it. It's got Jake Gyllenhaal. It's got Calvin the alien.
Correct.
And it's a psychological horror thriller, cray ride. What'd you think of it, Jonah?
I thought it was horrendous. I absolutely hated it. I thought it was so bad. Me and my buddy watched it. I convinced him to watch it with me. We watched it about a week or so ago in preparation for this.
Yeah.
And I thought it was terrible. I really didn't like almost anything about it. I hated it. I thought the twist at the end was implorably predictable, very badly done because of how it was shot. And then, yeah, it wasn't good. I just didn't like the movie. I didn't find any of the characters interesting. When they died, I didn't care. Spoilers. And things that happened to them, I didn't care. They had no life to them. Every character was written very two-dimensional, and it gave me no reason to like the movie. I didn't like it. I really didn't like it. Now, the performances were fine because they were good actors, but what they were given to say was not good.
I agree with you on the characters didn't really have any depth to them. Here's my thing on that, though.
Two-dimensional.
I don't think they needed to have that much depth because, first of all, Ryan isn't on screen very long.
Right.
I mean,
Which,
spoilers,
bold choice.
people, he's the first one to go.
Yeah, bold choice.
I think from a, I don't know, what would you call this more? Horror? Thriller? What would you title this as?
I mean, if it's a horror, it wasn't very scary.
I was freaked out. Are you not?
And I get scared from horror very well. It's not horror. It's more. I mean, it's on the lines of Alien. I'll give you that. It's on like which is more horror, sci-fi than it is sci-fi action thriller. Like it's more horror, but the horror doesn't work for me. And I
Okay,
do have a
so
counter argument to your counter argument, by the way.
what's your counter to my counter?
Well, you said you don't think that was the point, right? You said that the characters not having very much depth, they don't think it was necessary. Then why did they try to give every character so much depth? They gave this guy had a kid, this guy really likes Calvin, really feels like what he's doing is right. These two characters are going to get together, they love each other. These treat each other like why do they do that if it doesn't work? Like they clearly tried something and it didn't work. That's why they have no depth.
I get you. I think maybe the character, because Jake's character, they were trying to say he doesn't like humankind. That's why he stays up in the space station.
Right.
And then,
which was not interesting because they revisited it one time.
Well, at the end, he's the one who ends up on Earth when he's the one who wanted to go out and die in space. I mean, I don't know about you. I think that's pretty good. But I never really felt like the characters, we weren't with them long enough before Calvin started getting stronger. And that's the problem. We didn't have enough time with the characters beforehand because we had to have the whole movie where he, one by one, takes them down.
Right. But that part wasn't interesting to me because it felt like they were just going from one side of the space station to the other constantly. Oh, he's on this side, let's go here. Oh, he's on this side, let's go here and shut this off. It felt like the same thing was happening throughout all three acts. That it never gripped me in. I was like, oh, they're now going to shut that off. And then like in the middle of it, I was like, oh, they've just been doing this for the last 45 minutes. When is this ending?
So I'll tell you this from my perspective, Calvin, I hate spiders. Okay.
So Calvin really, yeah.
Calvin was like a Martian spider to me. And I've always said, I'm a very independent girl. I don't need a man. Okay. I can tile my kitchen. I can put subway tile up in my kitchen. I can lay floor in my basement. I can do all that stuff. I don't need a man.
As you should.
When it comes to bugs, though, I wish I had a Jake Gyllenhaal because
don't we all?
I can't do bugs because the number one thing for me is not seeing something that's there. You saw Calvin. Yeah. He goes in the air vent. Where the hell's Calvin?
Well, they put a tracker on him at one point, right? Or they had
that was an accident. They didn't even do that on purpose.
But they still had access to it.
But
they still knew where he was.
That wasn't until the very end that they had the tracker on him.
I guess.
So they knew how to trap him in the end. But before then, you didn't know where he was at. And then you watch him out there and they try to do... I thought it was great where for me, it was just the trying to keep him maintained and not back on Earth. That, as for the characters themselves, I wasn't that invested in them, no, because there wasn't very depth to them.
Yeah.
But for me, it was they're trapped in one space, because I love TV shows or like TV episodes or movies where you're trapped, like Day After Tomorrow, they're trapped in the library. I love when you're trapped in an area like a bottle episode and you have to either...
A chamber piece, yeah.
Yes, I love... And I feel like that was this. And I don't know, I liked it.
To me, I found the action and the actual plot of it uninteresting and predictable. So what I wanted to latch onto when that happens is the characters. And then the characters have depth. So that's why the movie just did not hit me. And the visual effects when Calvin was a specimen, it was well done. But then whenever he became like a giant thing, it almost looked like it moved. It almost looked like it moved differently than other things in the background. Like I wasn't a huge fan, and I really don't like criticizing movies for their CGI because most of the time they can't help it and they're doing the best they can. I really hate doing that. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to stop. So it's just the writing. It's just the writing that really bugged me. I don't really care about CGI. You can make fun of it all you want. I don't really care. Yeah. It just, there's movies with bad CGI that I think are fantastic. What's a movie with bad CGI? Like back in the 70s, there's movies in the 70s and 60s that have bad CGI that are amazing. Like they're incredible movies because the characters are good. It's well written. It's interesting. Star Wars has great visual effects.
No, because it was all stop animation. It was real.
Except I think Return of the Jedi looks a little hokey, but yeah,
I get you. Because my thing is, whenever I try to watch a movie, I know that some people are trying to predict what's going to happen.
Oh, you think so? You Sag? You not Sag?
I don't try to sit there and, Sherlock Holmes it.
I don't either. I
most part.
absolutely, my sister, I don't know, you know who. Oh, that's why I meant to tell you. I called my sister before this. She told me to say hi to you.
Oh, hi.
I almost forgot. But anyways, my sister is a Sagittarius. Exactly.
Tiana.
Absolutely loves
let's
to
do a big
predict
old
movies.
shout out to Tiana. Can we?
Tiana's the best bass player in Gaddy County. No,
Yeah,
that's just...
You just said that you weren't by saying that.
Yeah, I'm so much worse than Tiana is. What do you mean? I'm only as good as I am because of Tiana, and I'm not nearly as good.
That's a good brother right there.
Tiana's amazing.
Bam.
Nice.
You gonna give me some confetti for that?
It still amazes me.
It has to be your phone. Okay, so anyway, life.
Well, what I was saying was, my sister is a Sagittarius. My entire life, my sister always can predict the ending of any movie successfully. It's actually an insane talent. I try to watch movies, show them movies that I'm like, you're never going to guess what happens here. They call it immediately. Not even joking. We watched Scream 5. First frame, they said, like, first time you see introduce the killers, before you know they're the killers, Tiana's like, it's them. I'm like, okay, cool. And I was watching, I'm like, I don't want to give it away, but
should
like,
go like into murder investigation.
Probably, if you get to see everything from a wide shot. But yeah, Tiana is amazing at that. And I'm not to the point where when we're watching a movie I've never seen for the first time, like when we go and saw Everything Everywhere All at Once, I was like, Kim, sit between us because I don't want you to tell me anything. Because you're going to give it. You're going to get, you're going to know it. Right. So I'm like, I don't want you to spoil this for me.
And that's why because I want to have that shock factor. I do
too.
I want to have that shock when I see Jake in that capsule. And Calvin is like...
I was like, oh, I knew it was going to happen. I knew the entire time. I was like, this is going to go wrong. I was like, I'm not stupid. Like, this is clearly going to go wrong.
I was wanting it to go well, and then they...
Never does. I mean, it's a sci-fi horror, bro. It never goes well.
All right, let's do the next one, because...
that one took a long time.
We have a game to do.
It sucked. No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, but that's the difference is, I'm cool if you don't like it. I'm like, if I watch something, I want to know if I liked it or not. You know, it gives you a palette, a movie palette. Okay, so the third one, drum roll, please. This is your movie. Go, sir.
This is one of my favorite movies ever made. This is a movie I alluded to earlier whenever I talked about a movie that made me really start noticing how amazing Jake Gyllenhaal is. Mm-hmm. I've said this before. I've told my friend this. I've told many people this before if they ask. This is, in my opinion, the best performance by a lead actor I've ever seen. Genuinely. I think it's incredible. I think he absolutely transforms in this role. And every time I watch this movie, I'm on the edge of my seat, just completely in the hands of him. Just like, what is he gonna do next? He just is insane. And this movie, I love this movie. This movie really is one of my absolute favorites. I think it's great. And if you don't like it, that's cool. I just mean like the audience. But like, hey, I want to hear what you thought. That's all I have to say. This movie's amazing. Oh, in case people listening don't know what it's about a man who, in case people don't know, it is about a man who is aspiring to be, I guess, kind of like a on-the-scene reporter for news channels so that he can get right in the action, right when it's happening, terrible things that are happening to people, he can get there, be right on scene and time. And he, in order to do that and to be successful in his business, he starts to do things that are, I guess the best way to say is morally questionable. And
morally
that
wrong.
is and wrong. And it unfolds in a beautiful way, and it's incredible. And I love the movie so much. I really do. Is that a good plot? So I guess that's the best
it's great. I mean, that gets someone, because when I first heard about the movie, I did not expect that was what it was about. I thought it was going to be some creepo filming things he shouldn't be filming.
Right, I thought so too, to be honest with you.
Yeah, but
it's a lot more interesting.
Oh, absolutely. And every turn you're like, dude, be a better person, and he's a worse person.
Yeah.
And the part, guys, we're doing spoilers. If you don't want spoilers, listen to
this is your warning. Watch the movie now. Come back.
Listen to the preamble and then fast forward for the next movie. But
fast forward. We'll give you. Do we do timestamps? We'll give you timestamps. I don't know.
Timestamps is, if I had an assistant, I would totally do timestamps.
Fair.
But editing and everything, no,
much.
I do everything, everyone.
Yeah, everything, everywhere, all at once. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, literally. I am the muggle, and I have the mic.
With the mic.
Yeah. But anyway, so, no. Okay, so it started off, the first time that I thought this guy is terrible is when he went into the house after the people had been murdered.
I love that scene.
Took the video of the bloodstained couch and the woman laying there with her head blown open. Here's the next thing.
Yeah.
How in the heck is the news showing that? Does like LA News actually show that stuff?
Well,
third?
it's another one of those things in movies where I think this happens in movies a lot, where it's not necessarily it's a reality that is close to our world, but the writer's trying to say accept how this world works.
Yeah.
And he puts that on there. But I think it also just kind of, it's meant to show the lack of sensitivity that people have to things like that nowadays. That's what I think. But also, it's just one of those things where it's like, in like Barbie, for instance, expect the silliness. Like, you have to just be like, this is how it is. This is not actual reality. Yeah. But just accept that's how the world works. It's not a flaw. It's just how the world works in this film. That's how I always think.
Alternate universe.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, okay. So then the final thing that was like the nail in the coffin of this character is just horrible.
In that one scene,
is that at the end when his coworker, he just lets him die and films it.
Well, he does it for the viewer,
and it's almost like he is the human Calvin. He is the bad guy who wins at the end of the film. You know?
Yeah. He is kind of the bad guy who wins, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets what he wants, and he did everything the wrong way and got away with it.
But it does just go to show you, if you work hard enough, you can get anything you want. I mean, his work ethic, he just was nonstop. He didn't care if he was doing things ethically or morally correct. But he even says at the beginning, like in the diner when he's interviewing the guy, he's very professional.
Right. Because he's a psychopath.
Yes.
He's insane. So, would it interest you? Maybe you know this because you've been doing research for this video, I assume. But
I didn't do research for the movies. I did it more so for Jake. Okay. So let's see. Go for it.
So, would you shock you in the fact that he did not win an Oscar for this role?
To tell you the truth, I mean, maybe I'm biased or something. I'm shocked that he hasn't won more awards than what he has.
Correct.
In general.
Correct.
So the answer would be yes. Although, was he up for one?
Would it shock you even more to know that he wasn't even nominated for an Oscar for this movie?
That just goes to show you that the awards are a joke sometimes.
It's crap. This is one of the most snubbed movies I've ever seen in my life. I think it got nominated for like screenplay, and that was it. Which it's a great screenplay. It's just didn't get nominated for Best Actor, which is insane because it's some of the best work.
I just want to see
2014, so the 2015 Oscars. To be fair, 2014 is widely regarded as one of the best years of movies ever. We're talking Grand Budapest, we're talking Whiplash, we're talking Birdman, we're talking just incredible movies that came out that year, including Nightcrawler. And
here's my question. How many were nominated? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are 10 up possibly this year. So it could have been nominated.
Correct. Could have been nominated. He should have been nominated for Best Actor at least. Yeah. But he was not. Also, he's only been nominated for one Oscar. One.
Bull.
One Oscar. It's crazy.
Crap.
It blows my mind. And it was Brokeback Mountain. That was it.
Yeah, and like I said before, he does so many like independent films that are great. And they just don't get the acknowledgement or recognition that they deserve. Whether the movie themselves or just his part in it.
Do you like Enemy?
I believe I've seen Enemy, but I can't remember it.
It's a
Let me
weird
look it up.
movie.
I'm better at seeing things.
The spiders one.
Yes, the spiders one. Didn't we already discuss about spiders?
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was good up
It's a
until the
crazy
very
movie.
end
crazy movie.
when you
Yeah,
realize
the ending.
everybody's
The
a
ending
spider,
is the
right?
most. The ending is genuinely the most shocked I've ever been in a movie ever. I'm not
Yes.
joking. I knew what was happening the whole time. I was like, oh, this is clearly what's happening. And then that little last scene happened, and I was like, I clearly know nothing about what this movie's about. I was like, what is happening?
Yes.
And but then I did some research and I did some thinking about it, and I watched the movie again, surprisingly enough, and I understood it. But
So
it
what helped you understand it?
what helped me understand it was reading about what the spiders were symbolizing. That they were symbolizing a lust towards women. That's what they were symbolizing. But I knew what was happening. I knew that clearly it wasn't a double. It was he. Unfortunately, has just a mental illness, and he literally is kind of living two separate lives. And they're just the way the movie is showing it as in two different people, which was really creative. And Denis Villeneuve's an amazing director. And I think the movie's great. I think it's a great movie. I just think it just is extremely confusing and extremely weird. And that ending is incredible. But as far as shock factor goes, good stuff.
The very last frame, basically.
Oh, for sure. Whenever I think about that movie, I like to think about an audience back in like 2013 or 2014 when that movie came out. Going to go see that movie and just two 8-year-olds just going to go see that movie thinking they're about to see a good Jake Gyllenhaal movie and then absolutely hating it at the end. I like to think about that sometimes. Seeing the movie and being like, that was the worst thing I've ever seen. That makes me feel happy a little bit.
Well, then just go home and watch the Vampire Weekend
video. The music video.
And you'll be good.
Exactly.
All right, we got 2 more to do.
2 more.
I approve of Nightcrawler. Okay, so the next one is Southpaw.
Southpaw.
Let me get a little Southpaw.
I watched
one
right
that I suggest. You did what?
I watched this in life at the same session, so I watched these right next to each other.
Both of my movies that I suggested.
Correct.
So you hadn't seen this. I suggested it because I really like his relationship with his daughter in this. So Jake plays a boxer who's married and has a daughter. Tragic things happen. Hey, did you buy it?
No, I've owned this for a long time. I just never watched
it. Gotcha.
It's a steelbook.
Very nice. I like the sheen.
Thank you.
Yeah, very nice. No, so he we're good spoilers, people.
Yeah.
Because honestly, this spoiler
will help you watch
the movie.
It's in the first 10 minutes. If you're about to say what you're about to say, it's in the first 15 minutes of the movie.
Yeah. So, what's her name? Notebook girl.
Rachel McAdams.
I'm terrible with names tonight. I'm terrible with
names. Me.
I know, Rachel.
She deserves respect on her name.
No, absolutely. I love Rachel. I'm just blanking on everything tonight other than the name Jake Gyllenhaal.
By the way, me just a quick side note. Me and my sister have joked about this before, but Rachel McAdams is quite literally the time traveler's wife. She has been in 3 movies where she is married or in a relationship with a time traveler. She is literally the time.
Wait, so the time traveler's wife.
She was in the time traveler's wife, so there she is. And then she was in About Time, which is one of my favorite movies.
I love that film.
Yeah,
so
great
much.
movie.
Mm-hmm.
I showed my best friend that, and it's instantly became one of his favorites. And I got
great movie.
a shirt of it for Christmas. And then she is also in a relationship with Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah.
So she is the ultimate time traveler's wife. No one else can beat her. Anyways, that's a little side funny joke.
No, fun facts about Rachel McAdams.
The queen.
So he's married to Rachel. I don't know why I'm calling her Rachel.
Who knows?
Rachel McAdams. Rachel. He's Jake's married to her. A tragic event, and she dies.
Correct.
And he kind of spirals out of control. They have a daughter, and he does love her, but he's just so depressed over this.
So torn up, yeah.
he was doing great at boxing, but this has ruined him. He's losing all his money, and basically he has to come back from the bottom and be there for his little girl.
Correct.
Great scenes with the little actress. And then we have, again, I'm blanking. Who's his new coach?
Oh, Forrest Whitaker?
Forrest Whitaker. Yeah, Last King of Scotland. I love his role in this. Especially the scene when, I think I have it up there with the string when they're practicing. And he's basically being a really gentle coach. He's not like loud and abrasive.
Well, they showed in the first half of the movie when he was a boxer then that he's not, Jake Gyllenhaal's boxing character is not one of skill, like precision.
Aggression.
He's one of just aggression, getting hit in the face a lot and just bring it back because he's got a lot of power. But Forrest Whitaker teaches him how being
Composure.
a precise boxer with the power makes you a better boxer. So that was a great theme. I mean, it's great.
When he pauses and you think Jake's going to get upset in the practice and he just goes, "My wife would have liked you." Love that scene. Anyway, so I love this just for the emotional aspect of the story. I also thought the cinematography of it all. I love the coloring. And I don't know. I love the movie. I thought it was a really good human story of bringing yourself up from the bottom, and for your little girl, you know. So, what did you think, Jonah Man?
I'm just kidding. So I'm kidding. I enjoyed the movie. I was shocked to find out after the first 15 minutes, whenever she dies, I was like, because this entire time I had the movie, I really thought it was like him playing an actual person. I really thought it was based on a true story this whole time. So then to find out it was fiction, I don't want to say that took away from the movie, but I will say I kind of felt this emptiness at the end of the movie where I was like, I feel like not much was achieved. Because with these boxing, like with movies like Creed, and I love Creed movies. I adore the Creed movies as well as the Rocky movies. Those are fake, and that's fine. But there was something that those movies have that I felt like this movie didn't have, and it left me a little empty. But I enjoyed myself. I thought the dynamic again between him and his daughter was really well put to screen, very emotional, very tragic, and very real. Even though it's not based on a real story, something that feels authentic to someone's lived experience, and I appreciated that. It's just overall, I just thought I really did enjoy the movie. There wasn't too many dull moments for me. I was prevented from having a fully good time because some of the scenes dragged. It was a little slow in the middle, especially because it felt like it took a long time to get to where the movie's inevitably going to end. And it felt like they kept putting scenes on where you already know where the train's going to stop. It's just the journey seems to be taking a lot longer and unnecessarily long. Too many stops. So that part was a little boring to me, and I didn't find it interesting because the movie really starts with a bang. Starts with a great boxing match, and then an amazing scene, and this build-up, and then an incredibly tragic scene that then completely tanks and turns the train around to a completely different thing that you think is going to happen. And I don't think it ever lived up to keeping that momentum going. That's what it never kept the momentum from that incredible opening sequence. Again, I really don't think it did.
I hear you on that. I'm going to counter
it
with, of course, it's epic at the beginning. He wins the boxing match, and then his life is torn apart. And
Correct.
So I think that we are struggling through his struggle, if that makes sense. Yes, there were some scenes that I agree were maybe drawn out a little bit too much, or maybe even could have been cut. But I think it was
definitely,
we were living the bad parts of his life that he needed to get out of, and the
Right.
depression and all that stuff. So,
And when I
that's what
say
think
slow,
of.
I don't necessarily mean like there wasn't a boxing match, so this wasn't interesting.
No, I get
I just
The
mean like
story
it's just
needs to keep
none of it
going.
really. The beats weren't ever really there because I wasn't really. I was invested from the beginning. It didn't keep my investment. So that's what I mean to say. It didn't keep me.
You almost wanted to do
in
the
with the
10-second fast forward.
Yeah, sure. I didn't, but I felt like that. But Anton Fuqua is an amazing director. So he really kept the story going, and I really like that. I think he's a great underrated director, just because he's directed a lot of popular movies. I think he's kind of underrated, and I think he's really good.
How did you feel of 50 Cent's character?
He was in it. He's not the most extraordinary actor, but he wasn't noticeably terrible, so he was
I agree
fine.
with that. Yeah,
He was
and he's not going to win any awards, but he also didn't take away from the movie.
Not at all. Which most, celebrities not known for acting who then jump into acting out of nowhere for like a movie tend to be very noticeable.
Which 50 Cent, which I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly.
But saying 50?
50 Cent.
Sure.
He's done a lot of acting.
Yeah.
Also, he was on an episode of the Graham Norton Show, and
Okay.
Mrs. Weasley, the actress who plays Mrs. Weasley,
Yeah.
got to feel bullet fragments that were in his tongue.
Oh, I've seen that clip.
Random fact.
Random fact.
All right, our final movie.
Final movie. I just watched this today.
Oh, fun. Okay, so our
fresh.
final movie that neither of us have seen.
No, I
Jonah, you may say
see
the
now.
title.
Oh, it is. It's officially called Guy Ritchie's The Covenant, which is really pretentious, but it's The Covenant.
Yeah. So is it actually called Guy Ritchie?
If you look it up on IMDb and everything, it says Guy Ritchie's The Covenant, which is the stupidest thing ever.
That flashes ego, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like it's The Covenant. It's The Covenant.
Nobody. Can you think of another movie that has the director's name in the title?
I mean, yeah. Just give me a second. Directors do that sometimes.
Katie's Muggle with a Mic.
I think actually Guy Ritchie did that for his last movie, Operation Fortune.
He's like Jason Derulo.
Sure.
Guy Ritchie's The Covenant.
Or DJ Khaled.
Yeah. They gotta put their stamp on it, I guess. Nope, it's not really
hiccups.
prominent because it's not bringing up a lot. So I think it's just the Guy thing. Okay, Covenant. What did you think?
I thought it was just bad. I thought it was just generically bad. I didn't find anything special about it. I didn't find anything overly horrible about it. I thought it was just bad. I thought it was never coherent with the story. I thought it was never interesting. I was never gripped by it. I'm cool. It's a true story. This happens a lot in movies, and I hate it because it's hard for me to talk about them because I feel like there's not much to talk about. But I'm literally just unimpressed. I can't find anything to talk about because I just didn't really like it. It's hard for me to pick what I didn't like because I just didn't like it. I just don't know. I liked it more than liked.
Out of it?
I enjoyed. I thought the performance of the main guy who isn't Jake Gyllenhaal, whatever his name is.
Yeah,
I don't know his
translator.
name. Correct. He was great.
Yeah.
I thought I hated a lot of sequences in the middle. I enjoyed what it was trying to say. I just don't think it said it. I just don't think it said it right. I think it tried to do so much, and it almost felt overfilled with story. It felt like we were doing this thing and then we got to do more things, and it felt overstuffed, and it never felt like we got enough time to digest everything that was given to us. A lot of information and not enough time to sit and think about that information. I just thought it was generically bad. I mean, I really don't have anything to say about it. It was just bad. I just didn't like it. I don't know what else to say.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. I bet you loved it.
I loved it.
Okay.
But
Wow.
hey. Okay, so I'm just trying to figure out. specifically why you didn't like it, like why you thought.
I tried to too. I sat here and thought about it before we started filming. I was like, it's one of those movies. This happens almost all the time. I was not interested. I wasn't bored. I wasn't like looking at my phone. I was just like not really interested in what was happening. It never gripped me. The action was action. Like it wasn't anything I hadn't seen before.
Right. And
the story never gripped me in a way that I was really dying to see what was going to happen. So because of that reason, I just didn't like it. I couldn't see myself ever revisiting this or enjoying it again.
Yeah. Okay, so here's my take. So it's kind of similar to I think it's Nicolas Cage Wind Talkers film, where you got a translator. Yeah. You got a translator in wartime military setting. So it's kind of like a repeat of that kind of a story, but I like that they changed it to, it opens up right away. I'm not getting political in any way, but with the Afghanistan withdrawal, okay, which is something that happened, and
correct.
And what happened to these translators? Like they're still over there right now, and they helped our guys out. And so I like that the movie showed that aspect of these people who helped us out. They have families. They live over there. They're stuck over there now.
Yes.
And this is Jake's character doing what we wish we all could do for them.
Mm-hmm.
Getting them out of there.
Agreed.
Because he could have very easily just let Jake die at that house.
Oh, yeah.
Jake he dragged him across the desert to the U.S. military base. And I like the story. Now, I don't get his relationship with his wife. That was kind of odd. Like,
we're gonna, what is it? Mortgage the house? What was it? We're gonna
take out a second mortgage.
Mortgage on the house.
Well, no, the part that I found odd, which I'm not married to a military person. I don't know the tolls and the tribulations that their relationship goes through when they're going over there. He's going off to leave, not as a military guy, as a civilian to save this guy. Does the wife want him to go over? I think she's torn. Like, I know you need to do this. I don't want you to do it, but I know you need to do it. And then, so she's saying goodbye to him, just standing at the truck, and he has to say, "Kiss me. Kiss me goodbye."
That was weird.
Yeah. But even though it's weird, that kind of stuff might happen where you just lose that connection with that person when they're over there, because Jake's character probably changes. She changes here. So, I mean, it's that kind of in-depth stuff that I really liked about the movie.
I feel as if I've been talking a little negatively. I can tell you a couple things that I did like.
Okay, go for
more
it.
things. One of the things that stood out to me, I really enjoyed the ending. The last shot of them kind of looking at each other. And
yeah.
I like when movies, I love actually when movies don't need to show you the stuff that happens after everything that just went down in the last act. They just know, and you can assume what happens. Yeah. And they show you kind of the after effect and what it did to these characters emotionally.
Yeah.
And you can just assume everything else. Like it's not necessary information. So I like that.
Okay.
That was one of the things that stood out to me. I enjoyed that.
Okay. Just the ending.
Well, I mean, there's other stuff too.
I'm kidding. Hey, if you weren't a fan of it, you're not a fan of it. You can't help that.
I was impressed with it. Unfortunately.
It is a movie I would watch again. And if I'm willing to watch a movie again, that means I liked it.
I highly recommend watching Guy Ritchie's other movie that came out last year that is far more fun, which was called Operation Fortune. And it's got Aubrey Plaza doing an amazing performance. It's a spy movie. It's a spy movie with Aubrey Plaza. I mean, what more do you need?
But here's my thing. I'm just saying, I know nothing about the movie. But if it's a spy movie with Aubrey Plaza, it probably has some comedic parts to it, correct?
She's pretty deadpan, but she's funny.
So I don't know if you can compare that movie to this movie.
I know. Well, they're both by the same person, so.
Well, yeah,
That's
in that
the
one
compare.
aspect.
Like
but
like
no,
like E.T. and Indiana Jones are the same movie, but I will compare them because they're both done by the same person.
I get you. Okay, like,
Yeah.
well, that's more of. I think Guy Ritchie did better on this than that.
Well, yeah, I mean that's a
Not
comparison.
necessarily. I like this one better. Well, I guess
The
yeah,
director makes the movie. I mean,
Yeah.
everything you see on screen is because the director said it so. So yeah, I enjoyed the movie.
and I
I
see his name on the logo.
Exactly. There's no doubt in your mind that it's Guy Ritchie's movie.
I wonder who this director is.
I wonder who is Guy Ritchie Jake Gyllenhaal?
Is it? It's a girl, Archie?
I'm glad you liked it. I'm a little surprised because I was just so not really interested in it the whole time, but I'm glad you liked it.
Well, here's my thing though. Are you a big fan of like military movies?
They have to be really good to win me over.
Like, are you more of like a historical, like 1914?
I don't like 1917. You mean?
I'm sorry, 1917. I'm thinking 2014. We were talking earlier about. Yeah, what do you feel about that? I mean, like those kind of.
I mean,
movies.
this movie blew me away whenever I watched it in theaters. But that's just because technically it was amazing. The story was fine. Like,
Okay.
I just think this movie technically was a masterpiece.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, more movies. Still have not seen Saving Private Ryan, mainly because my dad keeps telling me we need to watch it, and we just haven't watched it together. Well, would you like to go to ratings and then quiz now? Is there anything else?
Yes,
you'd like
let's
to
do that because we are at 144 on the second recording.
Correct.
Okay, so
Okja.
Okja.
I gave Okja, if I remember correctly from my letterbox, I gave it a 4.5 out of 5.
Okay, you're gonna be mad at me. 3.5.
I'm not mad at that.
Okay.
I don't care. If you gave it like a 2, I would have been mad. I would
No,
be
no.
like, what movie did we watch?
Tar gets 0.5.
Stop. We're not talking about Tar. The best movie of 2020. No, just kidding. But one of the best movies of 2022.
Okay, Life. You want me to? How about I give my
Yeah,
score? And
yeah,
then, Life. I gave 4.0.
Stop. If I remember correctly, and you can fact check me on my letterbox, but if I remember correctly, I gave Life a 1.5 out of 5 stars.
This is amazing.
Atrocious.
We are polar opposites.
Yeah, we really are.
Okay.
Nightcrawler. You want me to go
Nightcrawler.
first? I gave Nightcrawler a 5 out of 5. It's one of my favorites.
I gave it 4.5.
Nice. See, we agreed on that. I think we can agree Nightcrawler was the best movie here. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I would. We'll see.
Okay, chill. If it's not The Covenant. Anyways, Southpaw. What'd you give Southpaw?
4.5.
Oh,
I love Southpaw.
that's good. Hey, you clearly had a lot of nostalgia with it, and I respect that.
Yeah.
I gave Southpaw 3.5 out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Which you
that's
heard my
higher than
reason.
3, or that's higher than
Yeah.
2.5. So that
True.
means, yeah. And The Covenant. Oh wait, did I say what I gave Southpaw? Yeah, I did.
Yeah, 4.5. Yep.
Yeah.
The Covenant I gave a 2.5. Just middle of the road.
Okay.
Don't say it. Don't say it, man. Don't say
4.
it. Okay. If you said 5 stars, I probably would have clicked off.
I don't think I've ever given anything a perfect score. I don't know what I would give a perfect score.
A Knight's Tale.
Yeah.
I know you love that movie. That's why I said that.
A Knight's Tale, Back to the Future.
I mean, that's a perfect movie.
I
still haven't seen A Knight's
Ella
Tale.
Enchanted.
Stop. Shadow loves that movie.
It's an amazing movie. Ooh, Jane Austen. Or I'm sorry.
Pride and Prejudice?
No, Becoming Jane.
Oh.
Becoming Jane. That's another Anne Hathaway. Anyway, okay, let's do a quiz.
Those were interesting. I like how we were so far apart from each other.
Hey, and that's why all movies are great.
But Nightcrawler is superior. Anyways, quiz time. So this is a quiz for me, if I heard correctly.
Quiz time. So this game we are playing is called Jake or Fake.
Ooh, I like it.
So I'm going to read a quote.
Oh, gosh.
from a movie character. And you are going to tell me if it's Jake or fake. If it's Jake, it's by a Jake Gyllenhaal character. If it's fake, it's by a character from a movie, and the character's name is Jake.
Oh, but question.
Yeah.
Is the fake character in a Jake Gyllenhaal movie? Because that'll throw me.
No.
Okay.
It's any movie where the character's name is Jake or Jacob or some form of Jake.
Understood.
All right, so here we go. First one of Jake or fake.
I got this.
Here we go. I wish I knew how to quit you. It's an easy one.
I wish I knew how to quit you. I love that movie. It's Brokeback Mountain and it's Oliver Twist.
Oliver Twist?
Isn't that his name in the...
No.
Oh, Jack. It's Jack
His name's
Twist.
Jack.
Jack.
Oliver Twist is a...
I know. I'm stupid. Sorry. Just ignore me. It's Jack
Yes.
Twist, right?
It's Jack, yes.
Jack Twist. Okay. I don't know why I said Oliver Twist.
Let's give
Anyways,
you
I am...
1 out of 1. 1 out of 1. Okay,
I'm
next
so
one.
good.
First of all, Papa Smurf didn't create Smurfette. Gargamel did. She was sent in as Gargamel's evil spy with the intention of destroying the Smurf village, but the overwhelming goodness of the Smurf way of life transformed her.
Okay. This is not from a Smurf movie. And I've heard this quote before, but I don't know if Jake Gyllenhaal said it. I will say I did a little cheating because I know that you said you had a Jake Gyllenhaal quiz for me. So I wrote down every Jake Gyllenhaal movie on a piece of paper.
Interesting.
So I'm just going to look at them real quick and see if any of these fit.
Okay.
If it would even
strategy.
make sense. It's a good strategy. Thank you.
Yeah.
I've heard this before. I really do think I've seen this movie, whether or not it's a Jake Gyllenhaal movie or not, because that sounds so familiar. So I'm going to go with my gut. I really can't find a movie here that it might go in, but I could just be wrong. Except for the only thing I can think of is like a rom-com where they're like arguing about Smurfs. So I was thinking maybe it was Love and Other Drugs. But I really don't know. So I'm going to guess. But I will say I'm just going to go with my gut. Instantly, I wanted to say Jake. So I'm going to say Jake.
Drum roll, please. It's Jake from Donnie Darko.
Is it Donnie Darko? That was the other one. I actually did think about that for a second, but I completely dismissed it.
Very well done.
By the way, we haven't talked about it. I know we talked about Donnie Darko a little bit, but I do think that movie's a tad overrated. That's one of my hot takes.
I thought it was very good. Again,
Hot take of mine.
I haven't seen. First time I saw it was like 2-3 days ago. It was pretty good. Yeah, that one I do think was slow.
Interesting.
I do think it's slow at times.
I just think I left that movie thinking that it thought it was smarter than it actually was. It thought it was doing something that it actually wasn't.
Well, I'll tell you what, I didn't really understand it fully, and then I Googled it, and it explained it to me, and it made me appreciate it a lot more.
That's fair. Sometimes that can happen.
Yeah. Okay, next one, number 3. Ready? We're going to lose this case, Carly. There are no more points of law to argue here. I want to cop a plea. Maybe Buckley will cop us a second-degree murder, and we can get you just life in prison. He's going to his list, people.
When did he play like a freaking what's it called? A lawyer? When did he play a lawyer?
What's it called? A lawyer.
Yeah, I know, right? Not The Guilty. That movie's terrible.
Hey, they filmed that during COVID. Leave them alone.
I know, right? I thought it was still bad though. Well, it was a ripoff of another movie. It was based on another movie, and it just tried to do the exact same script, but it was worse. I really don't know. I'm just gonna guess.
Jaker.
I'm gonna say fake.
Drum roll. You are right. It is Jake Tyler Briggins from A Time to Kill, played by Matthew McConaughey.
Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah.
I've heard that line before. It sounds familiar. So.
Well, that's the one. Have you seen A Time to Kill?
No.
Sir,
that's why it sounded familiar.
Watch
Weird.
it.
It sounded familiar.
There's a great, and his closing argument, great scene during his
I believe you. I want to watch it.
All right. And the next one, shall we?
Shall we?
This is a long one, people. Hold on. But I know that these days our culture no longer caters to the job loyalty that could be promised to earlier generations. What I believe, sir, is that the good things come to those who work their asses off, and that people such as yourself who reached the top of the mountain didn't just fall there. My motto is, if you want to win the lottery, you have to make the money to buy the ticket.
This sounds like it's from Love and Other Drugs. I got to be honest. The cockiness of this quote, maybe that's just how you read it, but the cockiness of this
Throwing
quote
you off.
came...
Maybe it's, but I know these days our culture
Right.
no longer caters to job loyalty.
It's just... it really does sound like it's from... Because he was such like a cocky character in that movie. But I don't know how confident I am of that. I'm going to guess Jake because that's the only answer that I can even justify. I do know it is a 50-50 shot, but that's the only character I can justify. The only answer I can justify.
Now, it would have been good if I had required you to tell me what movie it's from, but we're not.
It'd get bonus points. I could get bonus points for that.
You could. All right, here we go. It's Nightcrawler.
Oh my gosh. See, here's the funny thing is, oh gosh, that's one of my favorite movies. I didn't know that. I didn't, because he is kind of cocky in that movie, so I guess that makes a lot of sense. I'm disappointed in myself because I love that movie.
There you go. But you got it right. It's only 50-50.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
All right. Next one is, let's face it, I am hotter than you.
That's fake. I don't think it was him. I'm not trying to game the system here, but I don't think he said that anything. And if it's Bubble Boy,
let me say it a different way. Let me say it like I think Jake would say it. Let's face it, I'm hotter than you.
That's a good Jake impression.
Was that good? I don't even know.
I don't know what movie that would be from, so I'm going to say a false. As in fake.
A fake, not
Fake.
a Jake. Here we go.
Fake.
It's Jacob Black from Twilight.
It's Jake. It's Taylor Lautner. Sorry. Lautner. Taylor Lautner.
I say Lautner. Is that wrong?
It's Lautner.
Lautner. All right, next one. I see now I can't save my family by running. This is our home. This is our fortress. This is where we make our stand.
I've heard this before. Do you think I've seen this movie before?
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty sure you have.
The problem is, this feels very heroic.
Here, let me do it in a voice that would really make it not go with the character.
Okay.
I'll see now I can't save my family by running.
Is this from Strange World?
This is our home. This is our fortress. This is where we make our stand.
And Ohana means family. So I don't...
I could be from Strange World. That's a good point.
Yeah, that's the only, like, heroic... Like, he plays heroes, but, like, heroic characters who, like, take charge and stuff, he more plays, like, gritty...
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just go with my gut, which says fake, but I could be getting this one wrong.
Drum roll. Jake Sully from Avatar.
Oh, this movie sucks. Oh yeah, he says that in the trailer. This is our fortress. Yeah, he says that in the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
He says it in the trailer. Terrible movie, by the way. I've actually changed my rating since that Oscars episode. I gave it a worse score.
After looking up non-Jake Gyllenhaal characters named Jake, there are not many of them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's very
Jake's
hard.
I probably could have guessed that if I thought harder.
That's okay. Okay, here we go. Next one.
I've been kind of crushing it so far, by the way.
My father's a climatologist. He works for the government.
That's Day After Tomorrow's Jake. Yeah. I mean, come on, man. Come on. Give me a challenge.
Something harder.
Give me a challenge.
I love him in this film. I want to be him. Awesome. I already said that. I'll say it again. I'll say it all the time. Okay, here we go. You show up here after 7 years without so much of as a hey there, remember me?
Okay, I'm having a thought.
Okay.
In Ambulance, him and his brother, he comes to his brother, Yahya Abdul-Mateen's II. His character comes to his brother out of desperate need, and I think he talks about for a second there not seeing him for so long, and now he comes back out of nowhere wanting something.
That does happen, yes.
That's the only thought I have, and I'm gonna just stick confident. Obviously, I know I'm going full in on a movie, but I'm going with it. I'm gonna say this is Jake.
It is not.
Gosh,
It is Jake Perry from Sweet Home Alabama.
I tried to watch that movie once and hated it. So no.
That's why you don't remember his name's Jake.
So who really won this round? That's the question.
We all
Me,
did.
because I haven't seen it.
I'm a rom-com girl. I know they're not going to win awards, but I do love rom-coms.
I love rom-coms too, man.
I like this one.
I adore rom. This one didn't work for
When
me.
he makes
My
artwork from lightning in the sand on the beach.
I didn't watch the whole movie. I told you I could barely get through it. My favorite rom-com is The Big Sick.
Oh, interesting. That's a recent one.
Yeah.
Isn't
I
it?
think it's incredibly well written and very funny and incredibly endearing and one of the most interesting rom-coms ever written.
Kate and Leopold.
He has to, make his family fall in love with him before that's why I think it's interesting.
Interesting. Okay, here we go. Next one.
How many are there?
10.
Nice.
When you love someone, you have to be careful with it. You might never get it again.
Oh, gosh. My gut says Jake, and my gut has done me wrong once today, so I'm going to go with Jake.
Okay,
But
any
I don't
guesses
know
on the movie?
I don't know what movie. When you
Okay.
love someone, you have to be careful with it. Love and other drugs. I don't has love in it.
Here we go. It's
Okay.
Jake from Nocturnal Animals.
Oh, interesting. That movie's messed up. Have you seen Nocturnal Animals?
Yes.
That movie's messed up.
And that's
Hard to
what I'm
watch.
meaning is he does movies like that and Life, and then he comes around and does Spider-Man.
I know, right? Isn't that funny?
And then he sings Sondheim on the stage and does Vampire Weekend. Okay, here we go. Final one. I remember those cheers. They still ring in my ears. After years, they remain in my thoughts. Go to one night, I took off my robe, and what I do? I forgot to wear shorts. I recall every fall, every hook, every jab.
You're trying to throw me. However, I still kind of think it's Jake. But I don't think it's from Southpaw. Because that'd be too obvious.
It's from the upcoming Roadhouse.
Yeah, that's why I was like, did you get one from Roadhouse? Man, I want to say fake, but I also don't. And I hate, 8 out of 10's not bad. So I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to go with the one I don't think it is.
Okay,
So I'm gonna go-
that's
I'm-
great.
I'm going to go fake because YOLO.
Okay, here we go. Finale. It's fake.
Oh, it's from Raging Bull.
It's Raging Bull, Jake LaMotta. He has
That's
it back
crazy.
there, guys. Look, it's the same picture.
Same picture. It's
Here, let's
also
give
the
you
Criterion Collection.
your point. 9 out of 10.
Let's go.
Do the
Let's
peace signs.
go. Let's go. Oh,
Yeah.
we did it. I'm just
Great
killer. What can I say?
job. Jake or fake?
Bro, did you think I was going to be that good? I didn't
Yes,
think
I
was
assume
good.
that you will be because you
Well, thank
truly
you.
put all your thought into every question.
Thank you.
Yeah, and you came prepared with notes and stuff.
I did. I was like, I'm going to need this. I was like, I will. So I literally today at work, I just wrote down
It worked.
every single Jake Gyllenhaal movie. I kid you not.
All right, well, Jonah, we have been recording a long time. I'm going to thoroughly edit this, and then we will have bonus clips on YouTube. How about that?
Sounds sick to me.
Bonus clips that were not included in this episode.
I hope you thought it was a good video.
Oh, I do. I mean,
Great podcast.
when we've got Jake and we've got Jonah, that's a recipe for success.
And next week we're having him on.
Okay,
yeah.
everyone, thank you. Please tune in to the next episode of Muggle with a Mic, where Phil's
Muggle with
probably
a
going to
Mic.
join us. Jonah, you might join us as well, maybe.
I might. I think if it's what you said it was, I could make that happen.
We're hoping to do the movie Foe, so if you want to watch it on Amazon.
Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
You want to give
and check us
Jeffy
out on
Bezos some money?
YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We're on all the things.
All of them.
Kaiti out.
Been real. Jonah out.